Elliot, you mentioned Nodle Cash. Can you explain a little bit about the Nodle Cash app and how it works?
Yeah, sure. So the app for us is the best way to allow people to participate in the network. We actually have another way to participate in the network that is open to application developers, but for individual users, the best way to do that is just to install the Nodle Cash app, right? Once that is installed, the user is able to give some permissions to the app and then to turn on its Bluetooth sensors and to start collecting Nodle Cash by relaying information from nearby IoT devices, right? And that is done in a fully secure and privacy-first way, which is pretty novel.
That's very cool. And what do Nodle tokens do? What do they do for me?
Yeah, so for now, they mostly represent the work you've performed for the network, right? And you are able to use them to interact with the chain. So it means paying transaction fees or paying for on-chain services. And we are going to be introducing in the next few months different series of services that will rely on the foundation provided by the Nodle network, to provide more meaningful services to IoT developers or even to end users.
Very cool. So Yubo, now that Parallel has won a parachain slot, what are the next steps? Like when can Parallel users expect products to start to roll out? What is that going to look like?
Oh yeah, we have a pretty aggressive product roadmap. So we are going to make a autonomous crowd loan palette post-launch. So any project can be listed on our platform by a simple click with their rewards, with their plans and things like that. And they can also mint token on our chain. And then we're gonna run a feature for people to do leverage crowd loan, so they can use they can borrow money basically with a under collateralized loan to contribute to a specific crowd loan. So that is great for a lot of protocols, right? Because after 2 years, a lot of protocols might have to do that again, and if they don't have enough treasury, they can actually borrow from us, and they just need to pay the interest payments. Let's say 15%. They can just do the crowd loan. Don't need to have don't have to be over collateralized. And then we are rolling out a bridge from Ethereum, so users can transfer stablecoins like USDC, USDT to Parallel, and then trade on our AMM DEXs. So one of the most important trading pair will be DOT to USDT and DOT to USDC, and also C dot to DOT for AMM. And then it is likely that we will have all of the project to be traded with DOT as well, like project tokens, Nodle tokens, or could be Moonbeam Glimmer token to DOT and things like that. And then besides those AMM, we will fully launch our money markets. Initially, it will support DOT and stablecoin, so people can use DOT as collateral to borrow stablecoin, or the other way around. And then and going forward, we are going to support all of the project tokens, so you can use project token to borrow, starting from bigger liquidity trading pairs. We plan to launch a stable interest rate money market plus high efficiency mode similar to Avi v3. Besides those will be Yearn, like a protocol for cross-chain staking. Basically, you can use Parallel as the platform to do cross-chain liquidity staking on other platform. Say, for example, Star, they have locked a Star token staking. We can support that directly from our chain. And then liquid staking will be another protocol we're launching in Q1. So people can do proof of stake staking to earn that 14% rewards, but it's liquid. And then the last one will be basically some infrastructure stuff. So we'll pretty much integrate with Chainlink. There's ledger integration, and then a bunch of decentralization measurements and things like that, and security auditing as well.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
That's quite a heavy roadmap.
Yeah, and this is for Q1. Well, it's not like, yeah, we do have priority for each of the products. A lot of them have been built. So money market is done, liquid staking 80%, AMM, the backend is done. So we'll just sort of needed to really one by one launch it and roll it, grow it.
I think it's great for the Polkadot ecosystem. So good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be massive. Misha, why don't you share some practical use cases for Nodle, since we're talking about kind of the future?
Yeah, sure. So we, like any big project that's involving developers and a complex ecosystem where you need to develop applications to actually bridge the demand from enterprise to with a specific service, we started to build the first application ourselves. And sorry, I have an echo. And okay, so yeah, we started to build the first application. It's okay now. We started to build the first application ourselves, so the first one is pretty easy to explain. It's if you look at what Apple is doing with their Apple AirTag, which enables you to locate your personal items. So we did that for industrial applications. So when a smartphone user is close to a tag that's on a package or an appliance or a shipping pallet, basically any of our nodes can connect to that tag, then basically confirm the location and then share that location with the owner of the item. Almost in real time. So that's one easy application, and it's actually, it has pretty broad applications and very big numbers in the space of IoT. Because when you look at IoT today, you often listen to big consulting companies saying it's about connecting 20, 30, or 50 billion devices. We actually believe that every device, every item will have a wireless interface at some point, whether they are connected or not all the time to the internet. So when it comes to these numbers, we believe it's actually a hyper-connected world with a trillion things that are going to be connected. Think about a world where you're going to have more bolts and basically more devices connected than you have bolts and nuts around you. And that's really the world we are entering. So this simple application of location of assets has application in the space of logistics. For example, the shipping pallets industry, that's 6 billion items a year. The rapid courier industry, we are speaking with a very large rapid courier in the US that's shipping like 5 million items a day. And it's pretty cool because, I mean, you know the Apple AirTag and the form factor of the Apple AirTag, but actually very soon you're going to have tags that use Bluetooth Low Energy that are going to be the size of a sticker, very, very small. And they can also have a sensor. And so that's basically how the first utility on this network. In the white paper, we describe more than 20 applications, and we believe that it's actually hundreds of applications, and this is going to increase as we also increase the capabilities of the app on the mobile and to access more and more resources on the mobile platform. One field of application which is very interesting also is smart cities. So smart cities need to have constant information about their citizens, the foot traffic of the citizens. You can do that, and a developer can decide to build an application on our network just for that specific use. An app developer could also develop an application to be informed in real time of the traffic of ride-sharing companies like Uber and Lyft. And for example, in the city of San Francisco, where the city imposes quotas on how many drivers can be in the city at a given time, it's a great way for them, if they had a developer building that kind of application, to know what's the current traffic of Uber or Lyft and actually have an idea of that traffic and be able to visualize it. I mean, that would be the work of the developer, because our network is really about just moving data. So that's another type of application. Then you can imagine that if a city wants to spread weather stations to actually have information about and collect information about the weather, or if you want to know the air quality, for example, then they can use our network and they can use their citizens to collect data from these sensors. So that's the kind of application that can be done for smart cities. And there are more also which do not involve necessarily IoT devices in the space of social networking. For example, last year when there was the crisis of COVID, we actually tried to do a lot of good with the company. We had a deep knowledge in networking, and we saw some governments trying to do a contact tracing application, and we decided to invest some of our energy to build a protocol that would protect people's privacy. We did it, and that's what basically Apple and Google, it was open sourced, and that's what Apple and Google ended up using for their exposure notification system. And as we really dug down the rabbit hole of understanding all the possibilities that we could do with that protocol, we realized that we could, for example, build private social graph. And we believe we have at the core of our SDK a way to actually enable a new generation of app developers who want to build social apps to actually build social applications and social network applications that can keep basically the graph of the user completely private and only known by the phone of the user. And you can do some really amazing things. You can, for example, be at an event and you just decide that the app will highlight people who share the same interests as you. And if these people also highlight the same characteristic, then you can get to meet these people automatically. So there are a lot of applications that can be done in that space. And I'm not even mentioning the things we can do, like proof of origin for media and content, or proving the location of a car, or proving the location of an item. So there are really, I would say, hundreds of applications in the future that we will be able to build on this network, but we go step by step.
Man, I'm debating whether I'm for or against sticker-sized Bluetooth trackers. I see the pros and cons of that type of device, but I'm confident you're correct that they're on their way. That's very interesting. Appreciate you sharing that. We have Jennifer has joined from Parallel side. So Jennifer or Yubo, feel free to answer, and welcome Jennifer to the stage, if you will.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi,
Jennifer,
nice to meet you.
Sorry. Perhaps you can answer more detail about our referral program that Parallel offers for users.
Yeah, sure. Right now we have a referral system on our auction loan product. So every user, you can just use the referral code to earn more referral bonus. Actually, right now there are many projects who is going to use our referral system to like deploying on their just a column bonus structure. So it will be great that like users can use the same referral system to earn different projects referral bonus.
Okay, and
I can.
If I go ahead.
No, go ahead, Michael. I just want to add talk about the referral and bonuses also
yeah, sure.
for users who will come to the Nodle Quad loan through Parallel. And basically, we did a series of NFT. We call them the decentralization NFTs. They are inspired from, this famous movie that's going to be released before the end of the year, which is Matrix. And we have two artists who collaborated on the theme of the red pill, blue pill, to push people to make a choice for decentralization. So everyone participating in the Nodle Quad loan, the first 10,000 highest bidders basically are all going to receive a unique NFT on the theme basically of decentralization that represents this blue pill, red pill choice. And we're pretty excited by that. The name of the artist for now is kept secret, but she's really, really a fantastic artist on the way up. And she collaborated with this AI artist, basically who use her work and her painting techniques to feed an AI, and that way create a collection of these NFTs. So it's pretty cool. We are excited to also have the first NFT that will be sold for charity.
Yeah,
and we are going to announce that in the coming weeks. Yeah,
that's great.
That's very cool. Very cool. Jennifer, if I contributed to a project in batch 1 of auctions and the project I contributed to didn't win, what are my options?
Actually, that's a very cool feature that we're going to provide to our users. Right now, just like we already have over 60 users over our platform. So that many users, they can, if you contribute to the batch 1 project who didn't win, and you can have a choice to actually refund your dot, or just you don't need to refund, and you can actually directly contribute your dot to like batch 2 projects. If you decided to contribute to batch 2 projects directly, and you can get your 25% rewards of Para as your loyalty like to this column product. So it's really cool that you can actually have a choice and have a boost on your column bonus.
Yeah, I noticed, I think a few of our users figured this out towards the end and decided to jump in on a few projects last minute to gain that 25% bonus for the next round, which is pretty clever of them. And I like seeing that creativity. It's always nice to see.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. Let's see. And reminder to everyone listening, first, thanks for joining us. But second, if you have any questions you want to ask live for Parallel or Nodle, please request. We're more than happy to answer questions live. Just raise your hand and I'll bring you up on stage and you can fire away. Let's see. Yubo or Jennifer, why did Parallel choose Polkadot for a DeFi platform? Why Polkadot first?
I can answer a little bit because Polkadot is a really great technology for a radical idea to launch. You can build a customized blockchain to handle complicated use case. The reason that we built on Polkadot first is because obviously I really don't find any good solution for DeFi in the Polkadot space. User experience is bad. Product design or like protocol design is not good. So there's plenty of opportunity to provide good product to users. And then I think in general, we just trying to provide solve problems for users and then provide values. And I think that the space is undervalued by most of the investors. They didn't see the long-term value. It's not as hot as a layer 1 right now. Like Avalanche is very popular. Solana is very popular. All of that is very popular. And then people don't realize that this Polkadot has a very unique heterogeneous architecture that allows like pretty different idea to be launched as a chain. I just think that this has a lot of potential, especially when the Web3 movement is coming up. But yeah, it's just not enough like tools or products to solve DeFi demands.
Very cool. If anybody has anything to add, Nodle, same question for you. Why Polkadot?
Well, I mean, that's pretty simple, right? That's very simple. We used to build on top of Stellar, and Stellar was a very centralized network. And back in the times, we are doing around 40% of all their transactions daily. That's around 1.5 billion daily transactions. And the design of Stellar was forcing us to remain a centralized protocol. So we wanted to decentralize, right? And so we looked at what's available in the market, and we did countless prototypes on top of Cosmos, Near, Holochain, many of them. And every time you do that, even on Ethereum, you have to reinvent the wheel because you are always limited by these platforms, right? Even Cosmos, you have to build things the Cosmos way, and you have to use a Cosmos consensus named element. But then we gave a try to Substrate, and we are very seduced by the modularity of Substrate. And Substrate is a framework used to build on top of Polkadot. And from there, it was really getting out of our way, and we were really able to build exactly what we needed and what we wanted without having to reinvent the wheel, like on all the other platforms. And from there, it felt very natural to extend and connect to Polkadot in order to benefit from its features of interoperability and shared security.
Very cool. Yeah, I would agree. Polkadot's the right choice over Stellar. No offense to Stellar.
Of course.
Let's see. So, Nodle, what's your plan or strategy to differentiate from others who are crowdsourcing Dot for your slot? And obviously, don't give away any of your secrets, but would love to hear just a general thought process on what you guys are doing that's different.
I mean, if you think about it, we are very different by default, right? Like most candidates for a partial auction either do NFTs or DeFi. Like at some point, it's gonna get boring to see 10 DeFi platforms competing for the same slot, and we offer them a diversification towards another ecosystem that is trending and that is yet to see the growth of a DeFi or NFT ecosystem, right? On top of that, I believe we have a very interesting crowd loan offering, especially with the NFTs that Misha mentioned. I've seen them, and it seems like something that will be very worth collecting, and that is very different from what is offered by the other crowd loans, right? In most cases, they offer you canaries or accessories for your canaries. Right?
Interesting. And who is Nodle's competition, just in general, not just for crowd loans, but just period?
Yeah.
Well, in the blockchain ecosystem, the one that is known is Helium. So Helium has a network and decentralized wireless network that is for IoT as well, and enables IoT appliances to connect to move data and to connect to the internet. They use a protocol called long range. So it's suitable for a certain set of application. But if you want, for example, as a member of the community and supporter to generate tokens in the Helium ecosystem, you need to start to buy a Helium miner. So basically, you already have to spend $500 to a few $1,000s to get a device to start to be participating and building the network. We chose to start building our decentralized network using the Bluetooth Low Energy interface for many reasons. One, because we wouldn't need people to buy any hardware to build a network. They can just use their smartphone and install the Nodle Cash app. And second, because there are so many use cases possible and so many devices that use Bluetooth Low Energy. More than 50% of all IoT devices that are manufactured actually have a Bluetooth Low Energy interface. And then on top of that, the standard of Bluetooth Low Energy is pretty amazing. It has its own language, which is called GATT. And so in our case, when a smartphone is in proximity to an IoT device, if that IoT device is using Bluetooth Low Energy, these two can have a conversation. So the smartphone can ask the IoT device for specific information regarding sensors. The IoT device could potentially ask the smartphone if there is an update, a firmware update available that it can download. So it's a pretty advanced wireless protocol. So we believe that, the application we can build on top of this Bluetooth layer are much bigger, I would say, than what you can do using the long-range interface. And in addition to that, we are 100% software network, which is pretty amazing and very, very powerful.
Sounds powerful. Just a reminder for anyone who's just joined or has been afraid to ask, you've got about 10 minutes left to ask any questions you may have for Nodle or Parallel. So please make sure you request. Jennifer, do you want to talk us through for people that are just about to participate in their first round of crowd loans, what Parallel's bonus structure looks like?
Yeah, sure. Like auction loan is Parallel's first product that we offer to help current contributors to gain more extra bonus and liquidity. So if you use auction loan, if you use Parallel to do the contribution, let's just have an example that if you contribute to a color, and when you contribute through a color, and you can have a color project bonus. And if you contribute a color from like via Parallel, and you can get like project bonus and project extra bonus and Parallel bonus, like para as a bonus. And besides of all this, you can also get seed out as liquidity assets. So basically, if you use Parallel to do the contribution, and you can get the most column bonus. So it should be a great strategy to do the contribution when you participate in your column. And why not? Yeah, why not have the most bonus? And then you can have the lowest risk when you contribute to a column.
Excellent explanation. Thank you very much. And one more for Nodle, and then I think we'll be pretty much wrapped up. We've gotten through most of our questions, and it doesn't seem like anybody's got any live ones. Misha or Elliot, if Nodle secures a parachain slot, what's the benefit for the Polkadot ecosystem? Do you have any partners in mind?
Well,
I've seen some rumblings around like Kilt and being composable with Akala.
Yeah, we did a token swap with Akala early on. So I think, first it is clear that our token will be able to benefit from any DeFi project that's in the Polkadot parachain ecosystem. The same way they will be able to benefit from our community and our token traction. Kilt is a good example because they basically built a way to manage decentralized and identities and protect people or device privacy using DIDs, which is basically a standard for identity. And then yes, we could do a lot of things by being composable with Kilt for addressing some of our customers' use cases. And there are probably many other projects we will be able to compose with. So excited to see basically which are going to be the projects joining the parachains. I hope it's not going to be 80% DeFi projects because I think the power of the Polkadot ecosystem is in interoperability. And so it will be good to see a bit of diversity for enabling this composability and interoperability between different ecosystems. Because the success of the blockchain and Web3 in general, I think, depends really in that interoperability and diversity, and to enable these different industries and use cases and ecosystem to work together. That's what's going to reinforce. What's going to really reinforce Web3. That's what's going to accelerate the success of the tokenized economy, and I think that's what people who are in crypto want. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think diversity is really important with future projects. Too much saturation would not be good for Polkadot. And one fun question just to end, inspired by your red or blue pill NFT. So we've got two major reboots happening over the next 2 weeks. We have the new Spider-Man movie. We have the new Matrix movie. For all three of you that are still here, Elliot, Misha, and Jennifer, which one would you go see? You can only pick one or none.
I go for the Matrix, obviously.
Okay, Elliot.
I'll do Matrix as well.
Okay, Jennifer, Matrix or Spider-Man?
I think Spider-Man.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with Spider-Man too. I'm going to stick with the parallel team on this one. Cool. Awesome. Well, I really appreciate everyone joining. Misha, Elliot, it's been a pleasure meeting you and speaking with you. For everyone who's joined to listen, thank you so much. Jennifer, thanks for joining. And Yubo, thank you for joining as well. If you're new to Parallel, please make sure you follow us on Twitter, ParallelFi. Nodle is Nodle Network. And as always, Parallel is your best place to contribute to your favorite crowdloan projects.
Thank you, Michael, for hosting.
Yeah,
morning,
thanks.
whatever.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alan.
Bye.
Bye.